Okay. It's kind of strange. Where is... Let's see here. Invite Clayton. Oh, no. There we go. Why is it not letting me pull up his email? Clayton. What is the deal? Am I misspelling his last name? C-L-E-T. Well, this is unfortunate. Did he drop the class? Wow. I think it's because I've got multiple windows open here. There he is. All right. Copy. Well, I tell you what, I'm having a time of it here. Some days you're the dog and some days you're the fire hydrant. Okay, I sent him a link. Hopefully he can join on in. It isn't locked. I don't know why he's saying that. All right. So from last... Okay, well, okay, unfortunately Clayton needs to contact the help desk because I can't help him at this point. Have Clayton send a message to the help desk or call them and see if he can get his account unlocked. Can you do that for me? Are you texting? Yeah. Yeah, just have him text them, tell him he's locked out and he can't get in. Okay. Let's get rolling here. So I want to look again real quick at lossy images, lossless. Who is calling me? Hang on, guys, 1 second. Hello? Yes. Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, that was not Clayton. I was hoping it was. All right, guys, we're going to move forward. All right, so the lecture from last week, we're looking at the images, lossless images, transparencies, and so forth. So Let's do a quick poll here in your chat room. Go ahead. I'm going to display the question, and you type in the answer. What type of image type is used because of its great compression, but it is lossy? What type of image? Yeah, looks like everyone's got that one. You are correct. It is JPEG. All right, so here's the next question. What type of image and compression is considered lossless, does not lose its quality, but it has a larger file size? Yeah. You guys are good. You all know this. Pings. All right. What types of images are lossless but only limited to 256 colors? What types of images? Okay. And these are the two types. So everyone got the first one, GIF, but it's also PNG 8, right? Okay. How about this one? What other type of image displays raw data? No. This is the raw data taken from a camera. No, no. There we go. Very good, Layla. TIFFs. The other type that's also displayed typically in raw data is a bitmap. Okay, bitmaps and TIFFs. What type of image can contain 16 million colors? Hey, there's Clayton. Clayton, welcome. I heard you had some issues. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I'm glad you made it. All right, so what type of image? 16 million colors. Yeah, so this would be like your ping 24, 32s, and so forth. All right, so what is the syntax for displaying images? What tag element do you use to display an image in HTML? What do you guys think? What tag image? Yes, it is the IMG. You typically wouldn't use the IMG UR. You wouldn't do that, but just the IMG would be sufficient. Okay. And what attribute do you use to reference the location of the image to be displayed on the screen? Where this image exists on your server is the best way to put this. What attribute would you use? Yep, very good. That is the source, right? How about this one? What attribute do you use to control the default size of the image? What attribute? Well, no, not size. There you go, width. That's right. So keep in mind that the default size of an image you can control just with the width attribute. If you want to control both attributes, you'll use height and width for that one. All right. What attribute do you use for displaying alternate information? What attribute? Yep, very good. The alt. Exactly. How about this? What two attributes do you use to control the size of an image? We already mentioned one, but what are both of them? Height and width. Very good. Very good. Okay, one more image review. Let's see. What type of image is used for display on a browser tab? What type of image is used? Wow, Dylan, you're quick. Yeah, very good. These are the icons, are called icons. Sometimes they're called fave icons, right? What syntax do you use to display an icon on the browser tab? What syntax? What would you type out? I'm stumping everyone. This is a hard one, actually. It is a hard one because you don't use the image tag for this. Are you ready? It is the link tag, not the ahref hyperlink tag, but the link tag. And notice here that we're saying we're using the rel. We're saying it's a shortcut to the icon. We use the href for images and the name of the icon file. Now, did anyone go out this week and create any icons? Did you try doing that? No? There's a couple of tools I found that will actually take an image that you create and it will convert it down to an icon. Now, there are 8-bit icons, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, and even 128-bit icon files. All right, here's a question. We didn't really get into this, but maybe from your reading you saw this. What icon do you use when adding a web page to the home screen of an Apple Touch device? What type of icon do you use? See, this is the gotcha. This is where you're like, oh, I should have read my textbook. Yeah. All right, it is the apple-touch-icon.png. If you want to save a web page to the home screen of your iPhone, you would make that PNG available, and that's how you would do it. Okay, so what type of image can be edited with the text pad as XML, and what is its full name? What do you guys think? Earlier, you guys were using this one, but it was the wrong one back then. Now it's, if you remember, it's 3 letters. Yeah, there you go, SVG. And can anyone, well, I already put it up for you, but SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. Okay. SVG looks a lot like HTML because it's XML. It's a markup language. All right. We're going to talk about some hyperlinks. Hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are the livelihood of the web, and they really are. This is how we connect things on the internet. So typical hyperlink, you have your A tag, and then you have the href, which points to the destination that you're trying to take the person to. And then you have a label, and then a closing alpha tag. All right? So let's kind of break it down. So you have the entire A element, the entire alpha element, and you have the link destination, and you have the link label, and this is the typical hyperlink, right? This can also be a link to your own page using a relative link, right? So here is a relative link because it doesn't include the full absolute path, doesn't include the host name and the context, right? So again, here's another example of a relative link. All right, so HTML links. Here we have an example. We have the href. It's highlighted in blue. You can see the absolute path here. We can see that it's wikipedia.org. You have a context, which is, we typically call this a context. Sometimes it's just going to be a folder, depending on what type of server it's running, and then the location, the subcontext. And on the cat page, it's going to serve up a index.html, right? Actually, this is a, I believe it's a Apache server, and so the context itself is going to pull directly from a database, but that's neither here or there for you guys. All right, so another thing that we see is the rel, and we see it says external. right? That makes sense because here's an absolute path to a server somewhere. So the rel is external. And then the title, cat on Wikipedia. So if we were to hover over this, all title attributes cause the ability, when you hover over the link, it produces text that can be seen. All right, so the rel link is not necessary, but it identifies the screen readers that the link points to an external site. Keep in mind, though, there's a lot of other places that a rel tab, rel attribute could point to. Same thing with title, not necessary, but it can provide an alternate information on the link when you're hovering over it. All right, so the rel attribute. I wanted to go in a little bit more detail here because you see the rel attribute in a lot of places. The rel attribute, it specifies the relationship between the current document that you're on and the linked document. So rel is basically short for relationship, right? I'm sure you guys don't, well, maybe if you wanted to be nerdy, being nerds, you could send your boyfriend or girlfriend a little note and say, this is our rel. Yeah, only nerds would do that, right? All right, but anyways, it specifies the relationship between the document that you're on and the linked document. All right, so search engines, they use these. They use this attribute to get more information about a link, and especially if you're concerned about SEO, the search engine optimization, it's become a big thing for a lot of companies. If you're building websites and you want to tell people, oh, I can optimize your page for search engine optimization, right? This is just one aspect in that ability to optimize a page so it loads better. Y'all know what I mean by search engine optimization, right? Do y'all understand what that means? Well, so for example, if you type in content, you're looking for, I'm looking for a good place to eat, right? And you put in the criteria. Say you want Thai food and you're looking for a particular type of Thai food. Say you're in California and you do this. Well, the search engines are going to take all that content and they're going to optimize it based on the parameters you search for, and it creates a grade. It says, okay, we recommend these sites over these other sites because their information is complete. And so it causes those sites to appear at the top of the search engine when you're searching for something, right? All right, let's go on. Here are some common values for rel attributes. So you saw where rel equals external, but rel could also be a bookmark. Rel could be relating to an author. Maybe it provides an alternate representation of a document, like a print page, translated, or a mirror. Maybe the rel is to a help, license next, on and on and on, right? These are a subset. And there's actually a wiki page on the web. This is listed in your textbook. And they contain a valid, ever-growing list of rel values, right? Okay. This is good to know, right? This list here I took off of W3 Schools because it provided a pretty good list. Now I want you to notice something here. This one says no follow, and this is used by Google. They look for the rel no follow to specify that the search engine spider should not follow that link, right? Okay, let's go on. All right, so HTML links, you can use them to wrap around other pieces of HTML elements. So in this example, we have the link wrapped around an image. It's valid. In fact, it's used quite often on the web. You've probably seen images that are hyperlinks, right? Yeah. So instead of having the text Google, they have like Google, right? In fact, if you go to the Google homepage, I think this is where I snagged it from as an example. You can see that the little link at the top is actually that. And sometimes it changes. Sometimes it takes you to, art decor of the day or something else. So you can wrap them around images. You can also have a hyperlink, a link, tell it to load content in an iframe. So notice here some of the, this is wrong, by the way. This should be name, not ID. But target content loader will point to the name, not the ID. It'll be a name attribute called content loader. And what that'll do is it'll actually load into an iframe the page. All right, do you guys know what an iframe is? You have any idea? All right, in Moodle, you'll see from time to time that I post the videos from YouTube. Y'all have seen that, right? When I post the video from YouTube to go back and watch, that is actually an iframe. In the iframe, it has several attributes on it. It's an inline document. It's used to embed content within another HTML. And so I'm basically going out, I'm grabbing the source of the YouTube video, and I'm creating an iframe. I specify the width, the height, the name, the source, frame border, and then there's some other things that YouTube generally likes to have, like accelerometer, autoplay, encrypted, blah, 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 picture-in-picture, allow full screen, all that, right? You put that onto your page, and it actually takes content from another site and causes it to appear within your page. Right? That's how an iframe works. Now, what I highlighted here is we have the name my content, and my content is the name. Now down here I have an href, so it's pointing to some site. The target is going to point to the name of the iframe. So in this instance, the target would point to my content. When you're using an href and a target, you don't put a pound sign. Excuse me. I didn't mean to burp. You don't put a pound sign for name content, because you're going to load that stuff into the iframe. If you're going to load it into, if you're going to use your target to point at an ID on the page, that's where you use the hashtag. All right. Any questions about this so far? All right. So let's demonstrate the iframe content real quick. Whoops. Let me go back out, and I'm just going to grab this, copy it, and go over to the Atom browser. And I've got something open from earlier, so I'm just going to just paste that in. And this is I think a web video I found on how to build a outdoor pizza oven, I think is what it was. All right, so let me find where this is at real quick here. Let's see, we're going to go to the NMC folder. And this is in my website folder. And there's the index.html. I'm going to load it, and there's my iframe. So I'm actually embedding content, and of course this will actually play the video directly from YouTube, right? You can also embed content in an iframe like PDFs. If you have a PDF on your site and you want the PDF to be visible, you can actually do that. In fact, I do that quite often for other things. All right, so that is the iframe. And what we're basically doing is we're creating a link, and in this example, the link, when you click on it, it's going to load the iframe. with that content. Right? Yep. Yes. It sure will. So here I have width of 560. I'm just going to change the width to 100%. And I'm going to change my height to something a little bit bigger. Let's say 750 pixels. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a paragraph tag right here because I want it to kind of pop down. I don't want it to be on the same level. Okay, so I've saved it. I go back to this page. Where was it at? Right here. I'll refresh. And now it's a lot bigger. So now I'm going to say something here for you guys. The cost of web servers, they get expensive when it comes to the amount of memory and hard drive space that you have. So I highly recommend that you always put your images, like if you're going to take a lot of photos, put your images like on, what is that, Pixel Bay or something like that. I think the name of it is. There's a couple of other free places if you're a photographer and you want to store your images. You can store them there and then link them to your page for high quality images, right? Because that way you keep the cost that you're spending on your server down to a minimum. Same thing for your videos. Your servers will typically charge you a lot of money if you're going to stream content through their site. Now you can do it. You can put videos and audio and all of that on your website, on your server, and link to it. But you're going to use up your hard drive space really quick, and it's going to cost you a lot more money. And it's just better and easier, and it's free, right? YouTube is free. You can create your own account and store your stuff there. Same thing for audio if you're a singer, or if you have music that you write, open up a SoundCloud account. Link to it from there. Okay. All right. Let's go back to, I wanted to show you one other thing. All right. So I've got the iframe here. Let's create a different iframe real quick. And we'll call this one, we'll give it a name because we want to demonstrate this ability with a hyperlink. So I've got a name. I'm going to call it My Content. And I'm going to give it a width of, let's just say 500 and a height of 500. Okay. And I'm just going to do that. Now notice I don't have a source on this thing. So I'm going to go out and let's create a href to https://www.google.com target, and this is where I'm going to specify the name attribute content, and we can give it a rel, and we have a lot of stuff, right? So we could just say, let's see, it is external, because that's what it is. And we got an alternate. Link to Google. I put a title on it. Yes. Is it not showing? Oh my goodness. All right, this is what I get. All right, thank you for catching that. I thought I was sharing my whole screen, but I'm not. There, can you see it now? Well, let me click the right one. All right, do you see it now? Okay, Good. All right. So I've got my iframe. I didn't lose anyone just now, did I? I thought maybe I lost someone. Okay. So I've got my iframe right here. I've got everything set. I've got the link. Oh, yeah. Google. All right. Save it. Going to open back up this site. Refresh it. All right. So where is my link at? Oh, here it is. So I click it. And Google refused to connect. Okay, so they don't want me to do that. But let's pick a different site. Some sites will block you from doing that. It's okay. How about we'll change it to marianas.edu. And oh, all right, guys, I'm missing something. What do you think I'm missing? Maybe. Let's see here. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's make sure we... By the way, I am a bad speller. You'd think with going to college I'd learn to spell, but I often rely on spell checkers too to tell me where I mess up. All right. There we go. It's loading now. So you can see the link, it actually loads into the iframe. Now, some sites, they block you, like Google, it blocks you from doing that. Okay. So this is how you can use the links in an iframe to do that. Everyone can see my screen, right? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so again, you can wrap links around images. You can wrap links just about around anything. You can put links around entire pieces of text. I don't recommend that. It's often very annoying for people not to be able to click on some text and copy. But let's say you want to protect your text. You could do that. Of course, another way to do that is actually get an image and make it transparent and set the location to be over your text, and then you block them from actually seeing it. That's another way to do that. Stephen. See, I thought we lost someone. Stephen, did we lose you? He's still connecting. Okay. So let's go back here and demonstrate an example of wrapping things around images. So we have, let's see, I've got my image here that I created with the transparency. Let's just put a hyperlink around it. Okay, so we're going to say href, and we're going to again, we're just going to use Google for this. https://www.google.com. I'm going to skip a lot of the other attributes there. Normally we wouldn't do that. To make things readable, it's always a good idea if you're wrapping elements to make sure you just indent the element that you're wrapping. So for readability, that you can look at it and understand where things are at. All right, so we'll go back to our site and we're going to refresh it. Here is my hyperlink now. And you can see as I hover over it at the bottom of the screen, it says www.google.com. I'm going to right click, say open a new tab, and of course it opens right up to Google, right? Okay, so that is using the wrapping images with it. The next part, of course, is targets. So let's demonstrate a target. So we have, I have my link here, and I'm going to change this out. Instead of making it a link to google.com, I'm going to make it a link to something else on my page. So I'm going to create a link down here to this video, and I'm going to say, let's see, this video was about a pizza oven, right? So I'll just call it pizza oven. And up here, I've got my href, right? And I'm going to reference the pizza oven. All right, let me go back to my list here. So I think I may be missing something, but that's okay. We'll see. So we hover over it. Oh, right. It's the target. That's what we're missing. So say target. Pizza oven. Save it. Go back. Oh, what am I missing? Actually, I think the target is supposed to be refresh this again. All right, there's the image. There we go. That's what I was missing. I had my opening and closing tag off right here. I tried to use just a simple tag, and what it was doing was blocking the bottom of this text. So using the href to the pizza oven will direct to that content. All right, let me take out the target, make sure I'm not telling you something wrong, because I really want it to be right for you guys. Let's see. So we do this, we got the pizza oven. Yep. So the href is automatically, as long as the href, you specify hashtag and the ID, you're going to go to the ID of the element on the page. All right, so that is using that. Let's go ahead and go back to present here. So let's see. So we demonstrated the anchor. All right, so let's talk about targets in general. Targets, and we just kind of went over the target a little bit by using by redirecting from a link to an iframe, but the iframe itself represents a browser window, okay? And targets always point to a browser window. So one of the ways you could do this is you could force the user to automatically open the content on a blank page. Now, although we can specify this, the recommendation is it's always better to force the user to do that so that they understand the behavior, right? Let's go back again and look at our example. So I have an href here. I have this href to my Mariana's. I'm going to change the content from my content, which again, my content points to this iframe right here, right? Targets always point to browser windows, and so this is a valid use of it. Well, instead, what I'm going to tell it to do is that when I click on the link, I'm going to tell it to open it in a blank window. So let's go back to the sample here. I'll refresh the page. I have my link here, which is going to open Mariana's EDU, and I click on it, and you can see it forces to open in a brand new window, right? Now, the recommendation here is, although you can do this, you can specify the target to open in a new window, it's generally better to allow the user to do that, right? And you guys know what I'm saying, right? You can right-click on a link and say open a new tab or open a new browser. Always give the user that capability. There may be, requirements by your customer that says, hey, I want these links to these external sites to open in a different page instead of overriding, the site that we're on. That may be valid, but in general, you don't want to have a website, say for Napa, here on the island, and every time you click on a link, it generates a new page. That's not good design. All right. Links in general, we can wrap around all kinds of text, right? Let's demonstrate. So we have I've got a p tag right here. I'm going to go ahead and make it a full paragraph. And inside my paragraph, are you guys familiar with ipsum lorem filler text? You guys ever heard of it? All right. It's a great way to lay out a site when you don't have text. Say your customer isn't giving you text, you can use lipsum orem, lorem ipsum text, and it's just dummy text, okay? It's not Spanish, it's not Italian, it's not Chamorro or Tagalog or any of those languages. The reason people love it is the spacing of the words, the number of characters. It mimics regular text. So it's a great way to test your site with how things look, right? So I've pasted in some ipsum lorem text. I'll come back here and I refresh it, and I have some text, right? All right. With this text, the point of this whole exercise is to demonstrate that you can wrap an ahref around just about anything. Right? So now I've wrapped that entire piece of text in an ipsum lorem. I mean in an href. You could do that, but it's not advisable because it makes it very difficult, say if you want to copy paste text or whatever. It's also kind of annoying to read, right? It's not very pleasant on the eyes. Similarly, you can take, here I've got it wrapped around individual text. I can put it around a p tag. And if we refresh it, it's still there. fact, you can inspect it and see that it's now wrapped in a, the p tag is wrapped. You can similarly, wrap your href, your hyperlink around a set of images. So here I have it wrapped around the image and text. Go back, reference it again. Now this is wrapped as well as that. If you click on it, it's going to... Did y'all see my mistake? There we go. So you can click on it, and of course it'll take you out completely. Now, I point this out because sometimes there are valid uses of it, but in general we don't want to do that. All right, it's not recommended. You can put it around images, you can put it around divs, you can wrap just about everything except the body tag, and because body is a parent tag that can only be wrapped by HTML tag itself, right? So the href has to be, it can only wrap around things that can be inside of a body tag. All right. What about the href attribute itself? Well, this is abbreviation. It's abbreviated form of hypertext reference. That's what it means. So the href means hypertext reference. Links, you can use relative links to pages on your site to each other. I mentioned this a couple weeks back. You don't want to use absolute links to pages on your site. You want to use relative links. If you use absolute links all the time, you're actually going to slow down the loading of your web page and of the content. You'll use absolute links to sites that are outside of your site. For example, a minute ago I just tried to reference marianas.edu, and you saw what happened. It thought it was a relative link because I didn't have the information specified on it. No need to use index.html on a link, right? So your default page will automatically be index.html. Just the domain name suffices there. Avoid using labels. What do we mean? Well, some people like to use the label "click here to learn more about." Don't do that. They're overused on the web. Be specific about your labels. So if you have a site you're creating for a dress shop or a store or a bakery, just make the links themselves be representative of the content. So if you're, say for example, you're a bakery and you're going to talk about your great taro bread that you have at Great Harvest, right? You wouldn't say, click here to learn more about our taro bread. No, just make the label itself be semantically relevant to what the content is. All right. Links to other content. Do I have any singers here today? Any of you guys up and coming composers or musicians? You guys are all smiling like, yes, but I don't want to say. Only in Zoom? Okay. Well, I mean, you can host, you can have, your site can host all of your singing or your guitar playing or ukulele, or if you're a drummer, right? Maybe you're a mix addict. You can use, your hyperlinks can point to images, they can point to MP3s, they can point to videos, they can point to PDFs. You can link to just about anything with a hyperlink. Very basic. Hyperlinks are made to point to other content, and so all of these are valid types of content. Back when I was, back before we started using Facebook and YouTube, I created a website for a church in Kentucky, and they were recording all of their services as MP3s, and then they were making them available to the public. And so I had hundreds of MP3s, and of course it was eating up all the web space on the server. But you can do that. In fact, if you supply a link just like this, it will play back the content as a stream. Plays it back for you automatically. It's kind of cool. All right. Links to media. So we've already talked about linking to like images, but you can also link to, say, a telephone number. This is actually kind of cool on a device. If you put the schema here for tel, especially if it's on like a web page loaded on your phone, the phone itself will use that as a callable link and will actually activate the dial pad on your phone for you. So that's kind of nice. It doesn't work on web browsers on computers unless you go into your system settings and tell it to do something special. The other one is the mail to. Okay, the mail to. And this is important. Mail to is the schema. So you specify mail to, colon, and then the email address. And what this will do is it'll automatically open up the default mailed email application on your computer or on your phone for sending it off. Yeah. Martin, are you wearing virtual headset there, or what is that? Oh, it's just your hat falling. I can't tell what it is. Oh, you do have a virtual headset. Okay. Can you actually participate in the class like that, or is it? You're muted, so I can't hear what you're saying. You're talking away like, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. And yeah. Okay. This is a side note, but as a software developer, I've been excited about where VR is going. If you were to look at my desk right now, I have 2 big monitors, but I never have enough space. And my understanding is with VR, there is no limitation on the number of monitors. It's just, you know, wherever you look, you can have the content. So you can kind of tap it and bring it down and work on it, and it's very cool to me. All right, back to the topic at hand. So these are the types of HTML links to media. Again, this is really helpful. For example, on your web pages, to provide this gives you the ability to link out, and especially if they're viewing it on their phone, they can link out and call right away. 2 things I do want to make note here. With the href, you'll notice that I'm not specifying, because this is to an external source, I'm not specifying HTTPS. Now, the reason why we don't specify HTTPS for both the telephone and the mail to is HTTPS is a protocol. It specifies a protocol that's used on your computer. And the protocol is for hypertext transfer protocol, right? And of course the S stands for secure. You don't want to pre-pinned HTTP or HTTPS on tel or mail to, because it'll actually cause your link not to work. All right, that's all we have for hyperlinks. So let's go ahead and break open the course assignment that is due today. There you are, Clayton. Make sure you're present now. Since I have that open, go ahead and break open the assignment for today. And let's look at it together. So our assignment is covering Chapter 5, Images and Links. I am going to download the assignment. And I'm going to open this in Finder. Let's see. Where are you at? Copy it. I'm going to go to my NMC folder. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm going to invite you all to do this with me, okay? Because we are working on the assignment together. So paste your assignment into your NMC folder. Of course, I have it in my CSS 222. And unzip it. And this will, of course, create the folder. Okay. And we have a CSS file that contains the FT podcasts, and we have a Word document. So go ahead and let's open up the Word document. And very much like what we had for week 3, we have instructions. We have different things we need to do. Okay. So we have these images we need to get, and the links we got to create, and content, right? Okay, so title page should be icon image link. So the title of the page, right? Create a page, picture saved in PNG or JPEG used as an icon. Convert the picture file to an icon. There's a link for a site you can go to. All right, so I'm going to open up the Atom browser. I'm going to, let's see here. Go to File, open, add a project folder. And I'm going to pull up my homework 05. All right, so there's my project folder. Okay. We're going to need to create in here a new file. We're going to call this index.html. Right? We're going to take our index HTML and just go ahead and use the quick feature of the Atom browser. We'll type in just HTML, hit enter, and it will quick populate that information for us. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can smoosh this together a little bit, make it easier for us to follow. So the first thing we're going to do on the title page is this should be icon image link. Okay, so go into title, icon image link. That's the title of the page. All right, so let's go up here and look at this. So there's icon image link. It shows up in the tab, right? So we're going to have to somehow create the image. All right. So we're going to create a picture saved in PNG or JPEG. I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to take this image and using my fancy screen grabbing capabilities of this Mac, I'm just going to screen capture that. And come over here, create a new folder. Call this my images folder. And I didn't think it would work. All right. New from clipboard. It's up to you all how you want to incorporate these images. Okay. So I've got an image of Saipan. So I'm just going to call it map. Let's see. Saipan map. Yeah. PNG. Okay. And I'm going to save this in my... Let me drill into it. There it is. I'll just save it into there for right now. All right, so there it is. I'm going to drop it into my image folder. All right. Now I need to go out to this site, and I need to create an image icon. All right. And where was that I needed to go to? There it is. So click on that. Yep. So we're going to go out to this site, favicon.co.uk, and it cannot be reached. Let's see here. We went to some different places last week. Where did we go? Do you guys remember? Yeah. Just try this one out. It doesn't matter where you go as long as you create the icon. All right, so drill down to the folder. If you guys can't get to it, let me copy the link here and I'll post it in the chat. That's where I'm going to go to convert my image. Let's see. NMC 5 images, Saipan map, open. Okay, the image is loaded. Yep, it's going to crop it. Looks good. It's going to generate a bunch of icon sizes for me, which is fine. And saipanmap.ico. All right. So it has created the image. So I'm going to open this up. And let's see. Copy it. Drag it over to my NMC folder. I'm going to drop it in the images folder. There we go. So I've got my Saipan map ICO file. And okay, we're going to create a link. And this is an icon. Actually, it's our fave icon. And we're going to specify where it's located at. So this is located in the images. And it is our Saipan map.ico. Okay. Am I going too fast for anyone? Okay, so I'm going to save it. We'll go back over to our site, which we haven't opened yet. So let me go to File. We're going to open up the sample web page so far, which which is index.html. We're going to open it and image icon link. Okay, so it's not very big. Let's see if I pull it out a little bit. Image icon link. Why is it not showing? Let's see, include in the head, we have the shortcut icon. Ah, that's why. So we're going to call this the shortcut icon. Save it. And they have it stored in the fave icon folder. Is that in our directions? Do you know? Yep, we have to have a fave icon folder. And it looks like I didn't name my images folder correct either. So we'll just go ahead and create this real quick, a new folder. Call it the fave icon folder. And I'm going to put my icon in there. And we need to rename the images just to IMG according to the so we have okay, and this is going to be the fave icon. Save it, go back to our web page, we'll refresh it. There's my fave icon. Do you see it? Okay. So let's see here. Next step, we need to create a link to the CSF FTP podcast. So we'll do link again. Whoops. It's a style sheet, and this is going to go to our CSS folder called FTP podcast.css. Okay. All right. So we got all that done. Now we need to apply H1 for the heading. All right, so what is our heading? We need to say welcome to Saipan. So H1, welcome to Saipan. And to help you guys out, to speed things along, Adam provides this beautify. So if you, anywhere on your text, if you right click on it, go to beautify editor contents, it will format things appropriately for you. All right, so I've got the, so far this information in, I've saved it, we're gonna refresh it, and we're using the CSS. So it's changed the style to what we see here. All right, so we have that. The next step is apply a p tag to your site. So we're going to come over here, create our p tag. I'm going to hit enter and whoops, tab in a little bit. And then the main paragraph of our site. Well, I don't know what we're typing in here, but let's see. Welcome to the island of Saipan. Okay, so welcome to the island of Saipan homepage. Oops, page. We hope you enjoy your life on Saipan One. Hang on, I'm going to hit enter. One of the world's most beautiful islands. Swim. Boy, I can barely see this. Can you all see it? Swim in the emerald ocean with various colorful fish. I guess you guys are getting a kick out of me trying to squint and see this tiny text. Okay. Visit the World War historical places and does that say feel? I guess it looks like feel to me. Feel the sadness. I don't think the grammar of whoever wrote this is quite right. Feel the sadness caused by battles and human greed. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is just for, I mean, it does matter, but not for what we're trying to do. All right, so we have it. It showed up so far. That is the first piece, and now number 2. What does number 2 say? Apply the H1. Number 3, paragraph. All image picture files should be stored in the image folder. Okay. I have one image in here. Let's see, we need one of Old Man by the Sea. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Save image as. We're here. Oops. To NMC folder, CSS, 05, image. Save. Oops. That's not the right name for it though, right? So I'm going to call that Old Man. Let's see, what else do we need? We need a bird island. Yeah, that looks good. Save image as bird island. It's already selected my image folder, so that's good. And the third one looks like bonsai. Bonsai. Yeah, okay, save image. Bonsai cliff. Okay, so I've got my images. So we need to put these where? According to our applied P for paragraph, all image picture files should be in the image folder. Insert an image that is related to your website. Okay. So we got the Saipan image. So we're just going to put that inside here. So the source is IMG, and the image is saipan.map.png, a very small image map of Saipan. All right, so we'll refresh it so far and see what we have. Yep, there it is. That's not really where we want it, is it? Well, let's take it out from there and put it right. I'm sorry? Yeah. All right, so now we've got historical sites. Let's see. So number 4. Let's look at number 4 real quick. Okay, include 3 pictures in an unordered list and link each picture to an anchor on the same page. You should use a different ID attribute for the hrefs. All right, so we have a link here called historical sites. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a p tag, and inside the p tag, actually right above the p tag, I'm going to say h2, call this historical sites, and an unordered list, so ul li. Okay. Unordered lists, if you don't specify the CSS, will create bullets. If you tell it to be an ordered list, which is a OL, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth. All right, so we have our LI. We need to specify an image. My eyes are itchy. Specify our image folder, and we're going to say old man. I think this is a JPEG, and picture of old man by the sea. Okay. We're going to come down and do another LI. Hit enter. Do another one, IMG. This one's going to be Bird Island. Okay, come down, do another LI. IMG, and this one is going to be bonsai cliff.jpeg. Okay, so that's going to, if we refresh it so far, that's going to give us the historical sites with the images, right? And these are showing up the bullets, which that's about what it's doing here on the other site. Let's see. Let's go down and look at number 5. Make sure we're following the directions here. Include the 3 pictures and link each picture to its anchor in the same page. You should use different ID attribute for each picture and href. All right. So I'm assuming that what they're talking about here okay. So number 10, include the pictures in the unordered list and link each picture to its anchor in the same page. Okay, down here. So we have to create this as a hyperlink. Okay. And I'm just going to copy these and be quick about it. Make sure you wrap your image with a closing and opening hyperlink. Let's see. Beautify the contents. There we go. And now that is a hyperlink. And if we go back, refresh it again. Now these are hyperlinks, but they're not linked yet to the ID, right? Because the content is not yet. All right, so number 6. Number 6 is include 3 links using the ordered list and open the link in a new window. Number 6. Where's number 6 at? All right, so these are the 3 links. So we're going to come down here below our p tag. I'm going to create another p tag. Side of that, I'm going to say, actually, let me go above it. Another H, let's make this an H1. And we'll say related links open in a new window or tab. Okay, so we're going to do an ordered list, an OL, and then we're going to do an LI, right? And so our first one is going to be an A href, and let's see here. Saipan Tribune. What is the link for that? There it is. I'm going to copy that link address, come back over here, and paste that in. And we're going to call it the Saipan Tribune. All right. So I'm going to test this first before we go any further here, okay? I'm going to open our page again, refresh it. There's our link to the first one, Saipan Tribune. Okay. Let's go back again. We're going to do another LI with an href. And this one is to the Garage Saipan. We ever heard of this site? Garage Saipan? All right, yeah. Well, let's... How about Saipan Garage Sale? Maybe that's what they meant. Okay. We'll just copy this one. So we're going to paste the link in here, take out the hashtag. And for our purposes, we're going to say Saipan Garage Sale. Saipan Garage Sale. Okay, and then we need our third link. href tag, and this is for the Mariana's variety. Okay, I'm going to copy the link address, paste that in there, put in the label. Okay, so we have our links there. I'm going to create another p tag, and this is where we're going to put the content about Old Man by the Sea. So above that one, I'm going to say H2 and call it Old Man by the Sea. We're going to specify an ID on this one. And we'll call it Old-Man. That's good enough. And then some text about Old Man by the Sea. We'll come back to that again in a minute. To make this quicker, guys, let's just copy. Okay, copy some of this. So we'll call the next one Bird Island. Change the ID. And the third one, we're going to call Bonsai Cliff. Bonsai-Cliff. Okay, so we have some content, notionally speaking, that's laid out about the site. Now we just need to take these target IDs and apply them up here. So we have the href, so we're going to go up to Bird Island and type in hashtag bird-island. For Bonsai Cliff, it's hashtag Bonsai-Cliff, and then up above here is Old Man, hashtag Old-Man. All right. Now, of course, you know, you have to put in some content here about Old Man by the Sea, or Bird Island or Bonsai. It's really up to you. Okay. Now we have that was number 7. Let's look at number 7, make sure we didn't miss anything. 3 headings are anchors from the unordered list. Okay. So there's my headings, they're anchors. Your name should be the copyright name. And once your name is clicked, a web page describing your information should be open in a new window called myinformation.html. All right. So I'm going to right click on my project folder. I'm going to say new file. We're going to call it, where did it go? myinformation.html. Create the basic information. The title is going to be, let's say, title should say my information, right? Because when you hover over the tab, it should say something about that. And then the heading, all right, should be about you. So Michael Rogers, image, something about me, and then p tag. More info about me and other stuff. Okay, on this separate page, make sure you be creative. Talk about yourself. Okay, put some information out there. Have fun with it. Maybe you like gaming. Put it in there. Maybe you like cooking or horseback riding or golfing, or maybe you like your kids. Maybe you don't like your kids. I don't know. Talk about it. Be creative. This is these assignments are designed to build fluency so that you get used to typing these elements. All right. So I'm going to go back to this page. Let me close this other one out so I don't get confused. And we need to put at the bottom of the page, we need to put something down here, right? So we're going to come down. Let's see. Footer. Y'all remember the footer tag? I'm going to use small. And then we need to use the copyright symbol. What was that copyright symbol? Can you all remember that at the top of your head? Amp and copy, right? Okay. And then by the href, and this is where we're going to point to my information.html, and we're going to put your name, so not my name. If I see my name on your site, then come on. It's supposed to be about you, not me. All right, your name. Then after the hyperlink, CSS 222. This is, of course, 2020. And I think that covers it. All right, so let's test out what we have so far. We have our image icon link. Refresh it. We have all this stuff right here. We've got the external links. Oh, I think we're missing something here, aren't we? Isn't it the... there, no? What are we missing here? Is it lowercase c? There we go. It's lowercase c. Okay. So if we click on this, it should open up a new page. There it is. Nothing about me yet. If I click on these links, they're not going to do what the assignment says. So what do we miss? The assignment says we have to do something here. Can you guys, do you remember what we're supposed to do for number 6? You see what I'm highlighting? The link in the new window or tab. All right. You guys remember how to cause these links to open in a new tab. What do you type here? Right? But what attribute do you use? Very good. Very good. And then, oops. So you can just, once you get it, you can just pretty much copy and paste it into those links, right? All right. Now I'm missing content, so let me see here. What else can I? Where's my lorem ipsum? There we go. I'm going to copy that into the old men content, and then yeah, that's a good. I like what they say. All right, we'll put that over here in the second one for Bird Island. And that'll work too. All right. So here's the page. We refresh it. I've got Old Man by the Sea, all this kind of stuff. I've got these links. I click on it, brings me on to Old Man. I click on Bird Island. Now I'm on Bird Island. I click on Bonsai, and it's Bonsai. Okay. So all of the targets are working. The links now should open in a new tab. They do. And then as far as number 8, what you name it? Click on the web page describing information. It should be open in a new window or tab. So even for this one, we have to make sure it opens in a new window or tab. Yeah. It's always attention to details. Okay. Web page should contain an icon. So guys, don't miss that. You're going to have to do an icon. We've already gone through a lot of this, how to do an icon for the first page. On your custom page, My Information, you need to have an icon for yourself. You need to make sure that you have the title displayed in the tab area. Some type of picture, something about yourself, right? And when you're done, I challenge you, go ahead and upload this to the your 000webhosting.com. All right, one other thing I want to show you before we jump out here today. Those of you who are using FileZilla, there's another alternative I found. This is called CyberDuck. You gotta love these names. CyberDuck. CyberDuck, I believe, will work on the Mac. It's a nice alternative. I'm not sure if it'll work on the Windows boxes, but for those who are using Mac, you can use it and basically just click on the connection you want and it should work. All right. Guys, any questions today before we dismiss the class? Any questions about the homework you guys have? I believe next week we're going to start getting into CSS. And the CSS is what allows this styling here. Yeah, it looks like we are going to be getting to building CSS blocks. So if you wanted to, you could open up this CSS file and just look at it. And this is very simple. We have a site block, we have a body block, right? And did we miss that? The site block? Where's the site block on the assignment here? Is that the island of Saipan? I don't see the site listed. Let me do a search again. No, it wasn't listed. I have a feeling that when they created this assignment, the site block is actually supposed to be over here on that. Or down here on this one. But anyways, let's see here. We could test it out real quick. We open up our text and the island of Saipan. Save it, go back and refresh it. Yep, there it is. There's your site block. All right. if there are no other questions, I'm going to let you guys go. I've been watching and reading the discussion questions been coming in. Looks like just about everyone has got them done for the week. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and get those turned in, the discussion forum posts. And remember, you need to respond by, I think it's Sunday night, to the other three. So we'll be catching up that, and I should try to get most of the grading done this week as well for you guys. All right. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to let you all go and have a good weekend. If you have any questions, just stay online with me and we can talk through them. All right. Take care.